I thought our first date went great until I discovered her TikTok.
What's up, folks? Today we're going to be ranking the top 10 worst dates I've ever been on.
This is number 1. I have known this woman, 28 female, for a while since we are in the same friend groups. She's a nice person, attractive, and honestly, I've always enjoyed my talks with her. A few weeks ago, I, 26 male, asked her out on a date. I figured if she says no, it's fine, but she actually agreed. By the way, this comes from throwaway consistent 12. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, we went on a date this past Saturday, and honestly, I thought it was awesome. We went out to dinner, had drinks, spent the rest of the night talking, and we even took a walk on a walking bridge over the town's lake. It's not a big one. I dropped her off and was elated. I absolutely loved the night.
Aww.
However, that night, when I was scrolling through my TikTok on my bed, a post from her I didn't follow nor knew she had a TikTok, it appeared on my For You page. Essentially, she said in the post, "Getting ready for a date I really don't want to go on."
Rough.
That was like a bucket of ice water being thrown on my head. I was so freaking happy, and I just found out she didn't even want to go on a date with me.
Well, hold on. Maybe she thought she didn't want to go on it, and then she had such a great time.
Yeah, okay, so if
There's
you
been
see
dates,
that,
yeah.
and then there's a follow-up video that's like, it actually went really
It
good.
actually went really well.
How mad are
yeah.
you still at the first one?
Oh, like 5?
5?
Yeah. I think it goes down significantly.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying she has to want it, but please let me know if that's the case. We don't need to go out. We can forget I even asked her out. But doing this on the internet, it made me self-conscious? I'm not sure if that's the right word. Now I'm unsure about what to do. Should I tell her I saw this or just forget about it? Honestly, it really hurt me, and I'm not really sure I want to give this another try. I mean, she didn't want to go out with me in the first place, right? Some top relevant comments. Naked Neef. I'd comment on the post and ask if the date went well.
Oh, yeah. Wait, for real.
And Killer Savage says this: just because she didn't want to go doesn't mean she didn't have a good time.
That's my thought process.
I think all of us have been there.
I agree.
Where we don't feel like socializing, but it turns out okay or fun. Her not wanting to go may not be a judgment on the OP at all. Could simply be that they weren't in the mood for a date, which might actually be a compliment to OP that she was still willing to do it for OP anyhow. It's a low blow to post it on social media. People have feelings. She didn't give a crap about OP finding out, especially if they know each other from a friend group. Good human beings don't proceed like that. I'd say leave her be. If she asks why, then tell her you saw the video. Simple as that. Another user says, I just wouldn't ask her for a second date and let it be. Don't give her fuel for her TikTok. Just tell her you didn't think you're a good fit if she asks. Another user says, I'd feel like a child dating somebody who airs their whole personal life on effing TikTok. Of all apps, yuck. OMG, fight with the boyfriend. You'll never guess what he said.
I don't know. I think that in this, like, I don't think I can bash on TikTok because we're on TikTok. I think a lot of people nowadays will use TikTok as kind of like a video diary.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more openness about what people are willing to share on public forums. So
I have seen TikToks of date reviews where then there's a response from the other half saying like, that's not really how it went.
Yeah, in which case it's like, be honest about what you're posting, especially if there's any chance that people can see it.
Another user says, the thing for me would be this. Who on earth would post that on TikTok and why? The potential answers will tell you a lot. I would never want to be with someone that would find that an appropriate thing to post for so many reasons. My interest in such a person would disappear after seeing something like that, and I hope you have the wherewithal to feel similarly. This woman is not worth it, and at least you discovered that quickly. Distance yourself if you know what's good for you. No point in causing any drama over it, and honestly, that might be something she would enjoy. Another user says, as an introvert with some social anxiety, I don't think I've ever wanted to go on a first date, even if I really liked the guy and wanted to go to the location. My mind would always convince me I was going to be unhappy. Luckily, most of my first dates had been fine or great. Sprinkle in a few duds. As an older woman, I don't understand this need to post everything that goes on in your life or in your mind. Sometimes it's nice to just let passing thoughts pass. But I also understand younger people grew up immersed in social media, and this is normal to them. This person has made it clear that she's going to post things publicly that you may think should be private. That alone may drive you to decline any future dates with her, and if so, just let her know you saw her TikTok and aren't comfortable with your dates being the subject of her videos. Be forewarned, she may post about it. If you choose to see her again, I think it's worth having an honest conversation and set your boundary around what you aren't comfortable with her posting.
I completely agree with that whole comment.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good point that's what I was saying of it's different now. I think people are a lot more willing to post everything about their lives, and there's less boundaries. But also that you're allowed to have that boundary of not wanting her to talk about it.
Yep.
And if she's going to continue to do that, then maybe she just needs to find a person who's okay with that.
Another user says, I think context matters a lot. Was she saying she didn't want to go out with you or just wasn't in the mood to go out? Is her content about social anxiety? I rarely want to actually do things while I'm getting ready. It's 100% anxiety, but that does not mean I don't want to spend time with the people I have plans with. Or she just really didn't want to go. I don't know her and I didn't see the video. My only point is that phrase alone doesn't necessarily speak to her feelings about you. We have an update.
Yep, dude. Yeah.
10 days later.
Ooh. Did they go on another date?
Did she post another TikTok?
Yeah, she's like, this guy just told me that he was upset that I posted about him. Pfft.
Or she probably posted that she went on another date.
Yeah, she was like, I went on another date and I wanted to go on this one.
After last week's post, I read almost every comment, or at least most of them. I'm thankful to all those who commented and shared a bit of their own personal story. Some people mentioned that anxiety is normal and feeling like not going out is definitely common, suggesting that I shouldn't look too much into it. While I agree with their perspective and see no fault in not feeling like going out, what bothered me the most in this situation was having to post a TikTok for a significant audience. I'm a private person by nature, and even my social media accounts, like Instagram, have only a single post. I don't really like to overtly share, nor do I want to be with someone who does. Then she's just not for you.
Yeah, in that case, she's just not for you, and I don't actually think it really matters what her intention was.
It's completely fine to share whatever you want. I just don't want to be a part of it. So I decided not to contact her. I chose to pretend I had never seen the post and let things be. I understand a lot of people might think this isn't the best choice, but I feel like it's the best course for both of us.
I disagree. Only because, one, you guys are in similar friend group. You have mutual friends.
I feel like it's going to come up eventually.
I don't like ghosting people in any scenario. I think you should have just said, hey, feeling friend vibes. Not feeling romantic connection, but, thanks for the date.
Yeah. Last Thursday, a few friends who also happened to know her invited me for drinks. We went to a bar, and while we were eating and enjoying our drinks, a mutual friend asked me how my date went, as our circle was aware that we were going on a date. I didn't want to say much, so I just replied, "Oh, it was good, but I don't think we clicked." This friend followed it by saying, "We figured," which made me feel rather uneasy. When I asked what he was talking about, he hesitated, but eventually said that they had seen a TikTok post from her about not wanting to go out. At this point, I didn't really know what to say. This situation is just incredibly messy for me, but there's not much I can do about it. Still, I wasn't going to mention it, nor did I try to look up if there was any update on her part. In fact, I deleted TikTok after that incident.
Dang.
It just wasn't doing me any good. Nevertheless, this past Saturday, she sent me a text. She mentioned that she enjoyed our date and asked if I wanted to go out again.
Dang, man. You can bring up the TikTok. You cannot bring up the TikTok. You can be as honest as you want, but say something.
You gotta know.
Just say something. Come on.
But
you know
what you do before all of that, guys?
What?
You go listen to full episodes just like this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app, and just search OK Storytime.
Agreed.
We have more to this, but yeah, just talk about
Talk
it.
to her. I think personally, don't ghost.
Yeah. I understand that she clearly stated that she enjoyed our time together. However, I don't want to be with someone who exposes so much of their personal life. It's not something that would be good for me. So I decided to tell her the truth and sent a text explaining that while I absolutely enjoyed our date, her company, and that I thought she was an amazing woman, her post from the night of our date came across my For You page on TikTok, and it made me feel really self-conscious. While I understand that she enjoyed the date, contrary to what she felt at the time of the post, I didn't feel comfortable going out with someone who had such a high level of exposure online. I wished her the best and expressed hope that she finds someone whose lifestyle aligns with hers. She has read the message and left me on read ever since. I don't think she will reply, and I don't think we'll have a lot of social interactions going forward. I'm sorry if this wasn't the update you guys were expecting, but yeah, sadly, that's what the situation became. Anyhow, wish everyone a good day.
I think that's a perfectly fine situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you didn't ghost her. I don't think truthfully, when you like reject someone, I don't really like, especially over text. I really don't think that they have to respond.
Yeah.
They
At
can.
most could have been like a thanks for letting me
Yeah.
know.
Thanks for the honesty.
I don't like.
That's
I
it.
really, because I've been on I've been on both sides of this, where I've rejected someone, they don't respond, and like someone's said to that, and I didn't respond, and I think that's fine. I think that you haven't been ghosted because it's been addressed, and depending on like what they said, I'm like, you don't really need to respond to that at that point. You can. You didn't want to be in this relationship because you weren't comfortable. Totally fine. She was gonna continue to have this TikTok life. Totally fine.
Totally
So
fine.
good. I think this is fine. I have a crush on a regular customer and I want to ask him out.
Ew, little crush.
So I, female 24, work part-time as a waitress, trying to pay off student loans. And I have a huge crush on a guy who tends to come in for breakfast or lunch a couple of times a week on the days I'm working. He's handsome, super sweet, and I'm pretty sure he's single, but I'm not 100% sure. If I had to guess, I'd say he's 25 to 27. I've gotten to know him a little bit since we've sometimes talked if I'm not too busy. He said he moved here a few months ago. I'd love to ask him out, but I have no idea how, and plus I get really nervous around him. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Pink Lover, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, whenever he comes in, my manager always makes sure I get him, since she knows I have a big crush on him. His bill is usually between $8 and $9, but he always pays with a 20 and tells me to keep the change.
Oh, ask him out. He likes you too.
Put your number on a coffee cup that you're giving him. Having been a barista, and I've been on the receiving end of it's like worse when like someone's asking you out and you don't like them,
Right.
because
That's what I was
yeah.
initially. I was like, oh, don't ask someone out at their place
at their
of work, but you're
job.
not.
But
it's
you're not.
Your
It's your place of work. You can totally ask him out. Just put it on the coffee cup. Do you think that might be a sign he likes me? Yeah. My manager said she's seen him drive a really expensive sports car a couple of times. Ooh. So the large tip might not mean anything.
No, it means something.
But she said she catches him looking at me quite a bit and said he never comes in when I'm not working. Girl, he's got a crush on you. Considering I'm kind of a shy person, what's the best way to ask him out without being extremely embarrassed or nervous? My hands are sweating just thinking about it. And there are some notable comments. I don't know, write it down on a napkin. I think the best way, if you want to ask someone out who you don't really know, give them your number and then they can text you or not.
Yeah.
Best way. Notable comments. How are you enjoying City? Have you seen some landmark or attraction? Oh man, you haven't. It's my favorite. I need to take you. Give number. If movies have taught me anything, it is that you're supposed to slip in your phone number with the check. For extra points, you could do a schmexy walk away from the table while looking impishly over your shoulder.
Don't do that.
Ooh, don't do that.
That could go so wrong
That's
so
weird.
quick. You're going to bump into like
Yeah.
soup or something.
If you like a person who is working at a place that you frequent and you want to ask him out, just leave him your number. Don't put any pressure on it. Leave him your number. Say, hey, thought you were cute, or like appreciate whatever, blah, blah, blah.
I
and
like
then
a person
leave.
at a place that I frequent.
And then leave. Because honestly, a guy's normal thought process regarding waitresses are they're just really nice for the tips. You're definitely going to have to make the move on this one. Also, as a former waiter, him giving you a 50% tip is a good sign that he likes you. Comments by OP, he never waits for the bill. Since he comes in all the time, he automatically knows how much it costs and just leaves a $20 on the table when he's done. Then he waves goodbye to me when he leaves. Somebody says to be prepared for a letdown. This is exactly what I'm afraid of. He's super sweet, so I don't think he'd reject me in a bad way, but you never know. One morning, I had a really grumpy old man giving me a ton of crap for no reason, and when I walked away, I saw him talking to the old man. When I came back, the old man was suddenly very nice to me. Girl, he's got a crush on you. I don't know what he said to the guy, but he obviously stuck up for me. Anyway, that just kind of gives you an idea of what type of guy he is. I appreciate your comment. I'll try to be confident, and if things don't work out, I won't let it bring me down. I agree.
That's the best way to be with it.
Just be chill. I honestly, I think some people are like, never ask a person out who like is working.
Yeah.
It's not my personal opinion, but I think just be respectful either way. If you're the worker,
Yeah.
always be
I
respectful.
think that there's definitely certain situations
There are
where
certain
you shouldn't.
situations.
And you have to like really be in tune with
You
the
have to
fact
read
that
it.
it seems like you can.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
But I think even if you're unsure, just leave a number.
Yeah.
Leave it at that. Head out. It's just be
Yeah.
respectful. We were talking about a retail store in our town, and I told him I never go there. He asked why, and I told him my ex worked there. I tried to make it really obvious that I was single, but you know how guys are with hints. LOL.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Yeah.
I
Does
thought
my
about
girlfriend
looking
like
him up
me?
on Facebook, but I didn't want to come across as a creeper. I think I'm going to try and talk to him this week. I actually have this Friday off, and he comes in every Friday morning at the same exact time to eat breakfast. It would be super easy to just show up for breakfast at the same time and sit in or near the spot he always sits. Haha. I literally have nothing planned on Fridays, so this could work. My manager keeps bugging me and asking me when I'm going to make a move. I'll have to fill her in tomorrow and let her know my possible plan. The manager's cool with it, and her family owns the restaurant, so I'm good. And I plan on talking to him while I'm off the clock. And there is an update 6 days later, so I think that it will
That's
have
the week.
happened.
That's the week.
It's gonna happen, guys.
So
We're about
did
to
it,
do it. We're
And
about to do
everything
it.
went great, and he likes you back. That's
And he
my
likes
prediction.
you back. I already know it. Update 6 days later. I have good news. Yay! As I mentioned in my original post, I normally work Friday mornings, and he comes in for breakfast at the same time every Friday. Well, I had the day off and decided to show up for breakfast at the same time as him. It worked out perfectly.
Yeah, it did.
Ooh. I sat down in the area where he always sits and waited. About 10 minutes later, he walked in the door, saw me sitting down, ordering breakfast. He came up to me and looked a little puzzled because I wasn't wearing my uniform. He asked if I had the day off, and I said yes. He said, "That sucks. You're my favorite waitress." Ooh.
He said you can just sit with me
You can
instead.
sit with me. I also did my hair and put on some cute clothes that morning. And he noticed because he complimented me and said I looked really pretty. I could feel my face getting hot. Me too, girl. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. If anyone said this to me.
And then they sat next to you and laid their head on your shoulder.
No, that would never happen. Anyway, next thing I know, he asked if he could sit at my table with me. Ah! I was so nervous. Guys never give me butterflies, but he gives them to me all the time. But I acted totally normal. I tried not to be a dork. Haha. Normally, I'm very shy around him, but he made me feel comfortable and was super easy to talk to. We sat and talked for a while before our breakfast came. It was so much fun. Ah! My manager was the one waiting on us, which she never does, but she's been encouraging me to make a move on him for quite a while. She was so happy for me, and I know exactly how she's coming up to me, OP, and like, she just wanted
So,
anything.
how
She
you
goes,
guys
"How you
doing over
doing?"
here?
Anyway, I felt like he was giving me signals the entire time, which made me a lot more confident. So I finally worked up the courage and asked if he'd like to hang out sometime, and he agreed.
Yeah, he did.
Because he's got a crush
Yeah,
on
he
you.
does.
We swapped numbers, and he's been texting and flirting with me a few times a day ever since. He's got a crush on you. Since we've been texting, I've learned that we both enjoy hiking. Stop! So I suggested that we go hiking and check out an old lighthouse. Cool. Which isn't too far from where we live. Just moved here, so he's never seen it before. We live on the Great Lakes, northern Michigan. So that's what we're planning on doing this weekend. When we were texting last night, he mentioned that he'd like to go to this fall festival, which is coming up in a couple of weeks, and wanted to know if I'd go with him. So I playfully said, "Are you asking me out on a date? Hee hee." And he said, "Yes. Will you please go with me?" Update 2, 3 months later. It's been a couple of months since my last post, so I think you all deserve a happy update. Yes! First of all, thank you, Reddit. I sincerely mean that. I was just a shy girl with a crush on a handsome stranger. And to think that he's now my boyfriend is just nuts. 2 months ago, I left off by mentioning that I was going to take him on a date and show him around the area a little bit since he just moved here. I talked about how we both love hiking, so I planned to take him to this lighthouse, which is only a short drive from where we live. I was afraid it was going to rain, but it turned out to be the perfect day. We packed a little picnic and spent an afternoon hiking. I thought it was so romantic. We had a great time. Over the next couple of weeks, we continued to see each other and go on fun dates. I wanted to take things to the next level so bad, but I wanted to make sure he felt the same way about me. After a couple weeks of dating, we were hanging out at his place one night, cuddling and watching a movie, and that's when he finally asked me to be exclusive. I love that you said a couple weeks. I'm like, finally! Like, it's been a couple weeks. But I love it. And
sometimes you have to wait a really long time to become someone's girlfriend.
Sometimes people take 4 months. It was the best night. So we've been in an exclusive relationship for a couple of months now, but I feel like I've known him forever. We just click. He has a huge family, and they had Thanksgiving last weekend, which I was invited to. I'm a shy person, so I was a little nervous, but they made me feel so welcome. His mother's a total sweetheart, and his dad is hilarious. When we were leaving, I gave his parents hugs, and his mom says to me, "You know he talks about you all the time. He's like madly in love with you." My boyfriend was so embarrassed. I've never seen him get so red. But I would never be embarrassed if you guys listened to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime if you want to giggle and squeal. But there's a little bit left to this story, folks. I invited him to my family's Thanksgiving as well. My family loved him, which was a huge relief because my dad hasn't liked any of my past boyfriends. But he immediately took a liking to him and had to show him around his shop because they're both into cars. I love this. It was so nice to finally bring a guy home that dad approves of. And of course, my mom and aunts thought he was a hunk. LMAO, talk about awkward. Anyway, I just figured I'd let you know about the date and that we're finally a couple. Thanks for all your help a couple months ago when I wanted to ask him out. You guys really encouraged me, so thank you. And folks,
you got more? We got more, right? No, there's more. There's more. They're engaged. They're in the lighthouse. They're
Sorry,
engaged.
there is another update.
There is. You guys can't read it, though.
5 years. It's not. You're not going to see it, but it is there.
It's there.
5 years later, we're engaged.
Yay!
And we love each other. And
the
end. Yay!
My girlfriend started acting cold after she went on a girls' trip.
Well, warm her up.
So I, 25 male, have been with my girlfriend, 22 female, for about 2 years. We've been living together for a few months, and things have mostly been really good. Yeah, little arguments here and there, but nothing major. By the way, this comes from Northwinter Fox, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. Woo! So, last weekend, she went on a trip with her college friends to this lake house one of their families owns. It was just the girls, kind of a last summer thing before a couple of them move out of state. I was totally fine with it. Told her to go have fun, no issues there. But when she got back, something felt off immediately. She walked in, barely looked at me, gave me a quick hug, and then went straight to the bedroom to unpack. She didn't even say she missed me or anything. We usually text a bunch when we're apart, but she was distant the whole trip too. Shorter responses, slower replies. Since she's been back, she's been weirdly quiet. Not mad, just distant. She's been zoning out, not really laughing at stuff like she usually does, and just kind of flat when we talk. I asked her how the trip was, and she literally said it was all right, and changed the topic. No stories, no funny moments, no pics, nothing. Which is super unlike her. She normally comes back from any outing with like 10 stories and a ton of photos. The other thing is, she's been journaling a lot since she came back. Not bad, just new. She's always been into mindfulness and stuff, but this felt different. I asked if everything was okay, and she just said she's tired and processing a lot. I tried pressing gently, and she told me I was being overly clingy and that she needs space. I've never been called clingy before, so that stung. I tried asking her friends if something happened, but they brushed it off and told me not to worry.
No, I don't like that. I would be like, no, I am worried.
I'm very
So
worried.
please tell me if anything happened.
So now I'm sitting here wondering what happened on that trip that made her come back a totally different person. She's not mad at me, but it feels like she left as one version of herself and came back as another. And she won't let me in at all. Am I overreacting? And we have an update. Should we?
I don't think you're overreacting. I think if she's completely different, then press into it.
I think you would definitely know, like,
Yeah.
if something is off, something's off.
I do appreciate that he has not jumped to cheating, though.
Yeah.
I think he's just like, I'm worried for her.
Yeah.
And maybe she is cheating. Like, I don't want to
Right.
say, like, there's no way that she could. Like,
But
there
I
is
like
a possibility,
that,
but I like that he isn't
her
jumping
safety's
to
first.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I think is important.
Update. It wasn't really a planned discussion, just kind of happened. I had asked one of her friends earlier if something was going on. She didn't really open up, but told me it wouldn't be her place to say. I thought I wouldn't get anything out of her, so I said F it and decided I'd try talking to my girlfriend later. She came home from work acting off again. The usual. Barely said anything. Didn't eat the dinner I had prepared. Almost immediately went for a long walk outside, then straight to the shower where she spent forever. Later, she just stayed in our bedroom, laying around and not really engaging with me.
I would be super worried about her.
Yeah. I went in after a while to ask about her day gently. I wasn't pressing or nagging, just calmly asked if she could please just talk to me because I care about her and how she feels. I told her I wasn't trying to fight or blame her. I just wanted to understand what's going on. Since we always share everything, it's unfair to keep me in the dark, and I'd support her either way, whatever it was. She didn't say much, just kept mumbling about not knowing what to say, wasn't really feeling it, she was tired, etc. So I stepped back, spent some time on my own, and went for a walk. Eventually, later that day, she started opening up a little. I guess she had enough time to reflect and gather her thoughts. I'm not going to put every single word she said here in quotations because it feels personal and I'm still trying to process it myself. But basically, yeah. Something happened on the trip with her and the girls. She didn't say exactly what she did, but made it really clear that it went way past what would be okay in a relationship. Like, way past. There were plans for drinking during the trip. We both drink and it's never been a problem. She's never been a heavy drinker and has always stayed within reasonable limits. She said what happened wasn't planned and that it just kind of did and that she wasn't herself, which honestly just made me feel a knot in my stomach, like she was preparing me for something really bad. So I encouraged her to just say it, that she'd already said enough for me to not back down now. I deserved to know. She said the trip went well regarding the original plan. They drank, went to the sauna by the lake, swam, played games, hung around normal. Doesn't sound awful, right?
Okay. Cool.
Sounds like a normal weekend trip with friends.
Sounds like it.
Later that night, they'd been drinking more, partying, listening to music, enjoying themselves. Some were drinking and hanging out in the hot tub, while others hung around inside the cabin playing board games and talking. My girlfriend talks in circles about this and tries proving how it was a good trip and that they all enjoyed it. Eventually, though, she gets to the point and tells me why she's been down. Later in the evening, someone suggested a drinking game. They played bottle spin with a twist of drinking or doing dares. A couple of the girls were pushing it, encouraging it. She admitted she went along with it and wanted to play, but the way she said it, she looked ashamed. The dares were innocent at first, celebrity crushes, secrets, silly stuff, but they got out of hand as more drinks were consumed. Some girls dared others to kiss each other, play Marry F. Kill, pour drinks into each other's mouths. Obviously something that could escalate quickly. My girlfriend says she felt it was fun in the moment and didn't feel she did anything wrong, that it was all consensual and normal for girls when tipsy. She says she doesn't remember everything well due to her hangover the next day and isn't even sure what she did. She felt bad because she obviously doesn't like girls that way and normally doesn't do these kinds of things. She never explicitly says what she participated in, but talks like she's guilty. There was one girl there, let's call her Ellie. I've met her before. My girlfriend said Ellie hadn't participated and left the cabin when things started happening, mentioning she wasn't feeling well. They talked later that night outside, but nothing happened between them. My girlfriend said she hasn't talked to her or the girls much after the trip. I didn't yell at her or get angry, just sat there. I didn't know how to respond. She kept saying she didn't know why she shut down and has been feeling horrible since, that she didn't know how to tell me and needed time to word her thoughts. We've been distant with each other after the talk. There's this heaviness between us since she got back. Now I know why. I told her I needed space and went for a walk. When I came back, I just sat in the living room, not really looking at her. I don't see a life without her, but I don't know if I can look at her the same way again. Not just because of what she maybe did, but because she came home and shut me out, made me feel like I was crazy for noticing something was wrong. We have some edits, but like besides the kissing when you're like, that's obviously like, yeah, she like kissed people while like that's not cool. The rest of it really wasn't.
The kissing is cheating.
Right.
And I think that he's upset because she's unwilling to tell him. Like he's had to really drag it out of her and she's still hiding stuff.
That's fair. Edit 1. I phoned her friend demanding answers since I couldn't get them from my girlfriend. She confirmed there were more people joining them over the weekend than just their initial friend group and told me to talk to my girlfriend if I was so concerned. I was emotional and raised my voice since I'm trying to get a clear answer. She and Ellie are the only ones I can reach. So there were more people that came in too.
Yeah. I don't trust this.
Edit 2. I'll be making an update later. Everything's overwhelming and I need to sort things out. And we have that update.
Oh boy. Let's get into it.
I'll be staying somewhere else for a couple more days before starting to make preparations for splitting off.
Oh, wow.
I finally had a proper conversation with Ellie. It wasn't quick. We talked all evening. She didn't seem to want to at first, but eventually she opened up. She was the only one who wasn't drinking or participating, and I respect her for being straight with me. She told me this. The group was drinking heavily, and at one point, some of the girls invited a few guys over.
And here it is.
Yeah. Invited a few guys over who were staying nearby. Guys I had no idea would be there. She's not sure if this was the plan all along or if it was the girl's idea in the moment. She didn't know about it beforehand. The drinking game started getting more intense with the guys involved.
Yikes.
According to her, my girlfriend ended up making out with 2 different people. One of the girls, the same girl who told me not to worry about it and wouldn't give answers when I contacted her originally.
Yeah, of course she said that.
Yeah.
She said, don't worry about it.
And one of the guys. There was a lot of touching that wasn't just playful. As far as Ellie knows, she didn't F anyone.
Yikes.
She says she left and doesn't know what happened afterwards, but it was far past anything I'd ever be okay with, and definitely past anything we ever agreed was acceptable in our relationship. What hit me the hardest was how, according to Ellie, my girlfriend wasn't even that wasted at that point. Tipsy, sure, but not blacked out or out of control. She'd been laughing, very involved, and didn't seem pressured. She wasn't out of it, like she tried to make it sound. Ellie left because she was uncomfortable, and when she returned later, my girlfriend was still in full party mode. Talking was all slurred, and she was a mess. You know it's not a mess, though. Full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, your favorite podcast app, search OK Storytime. Tons of episodes, guys.
So many. You have confirmation she cheated on you twice now.
Yeah. And I mean,
That's it.
he's getting out, so
Yeah.
he
I mean, he
knows.
was already getting out when, like,
Yeah.
he still wanted to get out when she told him he kissed a girl. Or she kissed a
Yeah.
girl. Yeah.
I talked with my girlfriend, well, my now ex, over the phone, but all I got was mumbles or silent treatment. I flat out said I know what she did and that she could at least admit it to me before I break it off. Asked if I meant anything to her or if all of our time together has been fake. Asked about how long she had problems with her drinking, since I've always thought of her as a mature and smart woman. She was sobbing and told me she could help me understand if I came home and she could make up for all of it, and even if she did do it, she still loved me. So I'm done. I can't stay in something where I'm lied to, gaslit, and made to feel like I'm overreacting for noticing something is off. She came home and shut down instead of being honest. She let me stay confused even when I was trying to comfort her, when she should have been honest the second she walked through the door. Hell, she should have admitted it as soon as it happened. Not that it would have made what she did right. And that's the end
And
of
there
that
you go,
story.
folks. There you go.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, even if she had admitted it, still probably would have broken up.
Yeah.
She cheated on you, so it's not really much she can do to, excuse that behavior.